Check. There we go. This is a little chaotic part of the concert, and it's going to require some switching things out and moving some chairs and stuff like that. But as they're doing that, I'm going to try to entertain you all with some funny things and whatnots like that. Last year we decided to do some silly awards, and the students wanted to carry that over into this year. Now I had to tell them because I didn't want anyone's feelings to get hurt. This is just for fun. We're not poking fun, we're not saying it's this way. This is just things we've noticed, especially what I have noticed, with kind of living with your children for, well, 9 months here it seems like. So we decided to create some fun categories and take some time to recognize people for all their little quirkiness things. In fact, it was kind of funny. Today they were all just like, who got it? Who won? And I'm just like, well, you're going to have to wait and find out for tonight. The first silly award I'm going to do, and when I call you guys, please come accept your award. You have to come up and accept your award. The first one we're going to do is called the Most Random Award, and they kind of came up with that. But they do have a good reason. We have, 2 students were nominated, and they're kind of known for saying really random things at very random times, and a lot of the time it's really funny. So we decided that we would create a random award. So this year, the random award, and I was trying to think, well, what would I get them? And I thought, well, sometimes when they're talking, I'm like, what? What'd you say? So I thought, how better than a whatchamacallit? So this year's most random whatchamacallit award goes to Alex Feldkamp. Where's Alex? Where is he? Well, we'll just have to give it to him later, I guess. All right. This next one is called the Silent but Deadly Award. Now, it's not what you think, okay? Just hear me out. It's not that. Don't go there. In every group, you have students who are very loud, and you have students who are just like, are they even there? I mean, I know you're here, I checked you in on attendance, but you haven't made a peep this entire time you were here in my class, because they're just very quiet, and they don't want attention drawn to them. So, I thought, well, what would I give for them? What would make me excited to kind of make me want to talk and do some stuff? And I just thought, well, what if I paid them $100,000, and then they might get a little excited and do some talking. I don't know, I just thought it was worth a shot. So, this year's Silent but Deadly Award, and I think she won it 2 years back to back, goes to Macy Bull. Like I said, this is just for fun. Okay, this next one, I wasn't sure how to take it, but they wanted to do this, so I said, all right, we'll try it. They wanted to do the biggest flirt award. And I'm going to be honest, this is about these people, not so much them, but these guys sitting right behind me. So, I thought, well, all right, biggest flirt, what should I do for that? Well, how about some sweet tarts? Oh, everything's sweet. So this year's biggest flirt award goes to Isaiah Mater. And I'm kind of stalling because they all wanted who got the best band couple, but I'm going to save that for last. Well, we had the silent award, so now we got to have the opposite. We got to have the most loudest award. And there are quite a few people on this list. It might not be always who you think. So I thought, well, sometimes when a kid's being loud and they just don't know it, I just say, hey, would you stop being such a goober? Okay, can you just tone it down a little bit? So I just thought I'd give them some goobers. So this year's most loudest award goes to Jacob Schmidt. I'm surprised I didn't win this next award, especially the way I've been lately, because I get a little stressed about concerts and stuff. It's called the Biggest Grump Award. And sometimes you just got a person, and hey, I'm included on this, you just kind of get a little So I thought, well, what could I do for that? And I thought of a very well-known commercial that you all know, is that when you're hungry, you get a little grumpy. So have a Snickers. So this year's Grumpy Snickers Award goes to Randy Houston. Sometimes when we go out to band competitions, they have an option for us to eat there. And that's kind of a big deal. And they're all like, I want to eat. Just order me a whole pizza and I'll eat the whole thing. And most of them can. Sometimes you might be surprised, it's not so much the boys, but the girls. So this year we decided to do the Biggest Appetite Award, and I thought, well, I better make it big enough for them. I got the king size. So this year's Biggest Appetite Award goes to Aaron Fink. All right, it's time for the one that they've been waiting for, the best band couple. Now, I gotta tell you, they told me the nominations. And the whole point of this is, when I'm directing, sometimes you see individuals, and they argue like they're married. And that's kind of the point of this. I'm not saying they're married or they're a couple, it's not anything, but they just argue like they're married. So we decided to have a little fun with that. I do want to tell you who was up for this award. The pairs were this: Mark and Shay, Isaiah and Mariah, Jacob Hansman and Joshua Powell, Carmen and Jaden, those two, always just picking on each other the entire time, and Jaden and Braden from the middle school. So, I thought, to make this special, that we would have just some dummy fake marriage certificates. And of course, you have to have a ring. So I got ring tops. So this year's best band couple, and they won by a pretty good landslide here, goes to Jaden and Braden. Okay. But now I would just like to take a moment and do some serious awards, if I may. A lot of students have done a lot of hard work for me, and I'd like to take the time to recognize them. First of all, let me just say this. If they were under my direction, they did a lot of work for me, because I set my standard pretty darn high, and I want them to do very well. And they've done that this year. To receive extra accolades, if you will, I tell them you have to do more things than just a normal band class that I expect you to do part of your grade. And we've had some students do that. I would first like to recognize these individuals from the middle school, and when I call your name up so you can be recognized. These people are going to receive a letter in the middle school this year for being at all the pep band games except for maybe one or two of them. Those middle school students are, and please stand, Kira Beck, Ashlyn Anderson, Afton Heitkamp, and Jaden Clark. Would you please give them a round of applause? And I do have your pins here. You can pick them up afterwards if you'd like. Also, this year I had the honor to take 6 middle school students just down the road a ways to Brandon for the Celebration of Music Festival down there for an honor band. And those people I would like to recognize now too, and I actually have an award